The action star is dying and Hollywood let it happen. There was a time when you had to earn it. Bruce Lee, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Jackie Chan, Chuck Norris, they didn't hide behind CGI. They didn't wear muscle suits. They didn't learn a fight in 6 weeks and call it authenticity. They bled. They trained for decades. Now it's green screens, stunt doubles in masks. Marvel didn't just change action movies, it replaced real fighters with illusion. But one man still remains in truth. Scott Adkins.
Welcome to the Blood, Sweat and Cinema podcast. Today we have our very special guest, actor, action extraordinaire, martial artist, and just all-round really good human being. Scott Adkins, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks for the introduction, James. Yeah, I like the good human being, but thanks for not telling the truth.
I have never met anybody who has bumped shoulders with you that has not said Scott Adkins is one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Oh, cool. Good.
Thanks for coming on, brother. I'm looking forward to this chat. Gonna be good.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Well, of course, me and James go back a long way, don't we?
Yeah.
You do,
I was
mate.
thinking of that. Yeah. I was thinking of that earlier today. Remember when I used to pick you up on Vineland and when you were staying in that condo?
Yeah, and we used to go to Gold's to train.
We used to go to Goals.
Yeah.
We went to a few places. Remember, we went to the Saddle Ranch. We went around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't just train. We had some fun as well. But I remember we used to go to Gold's and train, and obviously, you were living there at the time, right? Or were you visiting like I was? You were already stationed there, I think.
At one point when we first met, Isaac introduced us. We were going to a screening of Michael Wirt's movie. I can't remember, the Western. That's the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
And we watched that movie, but no, at that time I was not living here. I was still coming and going.
Okay. Well, what I remember is you used to take me to Gold's, and of course it's always a pleasure to go there because we've all seen Pumping Iron many times.
Oh,
and
yes.
You were a good partner to have in the gym because you would really push me hard. I'd be like, Jesus, not another set. But we used to go there. We used to have a real good train, and then I remember we'd go to that Firehouse restaurant before.
Oh, that's the best place ever, man.
Is that still there?
Still there.
Yes.
Still
Yes.
there,
Yeah.
But a lot of things have changed since then. The environment has changed in general. It's a little bit different now. It's not like then it was just different. We had different atmosphere. It's a little different now. Yeah. But still a great change.
It was good back then. I loved it, mate. Yeah, I had some good training. It was great.
Yeah, it was. Now tell us about your gym, because you've got a really cool boy kid gym.
Yeah, I was just watching that footage last night. It's phenomenal, man. Looks great.
Yeah. No, I'm very lucky. It's the dream, isn't it, to have your own gym for guys like us?
Yeah.
And we moved into a new house, and we had a swimming pool, and it was great. Oh yeah, we got a swimming pool. But of course, 3 weeks later, nobody uses it, and it's costing you money. And I thought, because I was thinking about building another gym in another part, a building to have a gym in it. But I thought, no, let's just get rid of the swimming pool. Nobody likes it, nobody uses it. And I turned that into a gym, and it is, I have to say, a very impressive gym.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Got all the weights, got a little TV seating area so I can watch some kung fu movies. And I'll tell you what, most of the time, and it's amazing because I know we're all fans of Van Damme, I get in there and straight away I put on the Kickboxer / Bloodsport Paul Herzog retro mix. And that is all I listen to, man. It's the best training music aside from Rocky that you could possibly listen to. And
that's what we do at James. We do at James's gym all the time. We throw that up there. We sit for a little bit, watch it. We start a lot of the days that way, watching Bloodsport or Enter the Dragon.
Best stuff.
You can't beat that stuff for our generation.
No.
Yeah. Maybe it's a generational thing.
I don't know. James Gym, Scott? Have you seen James Gym?
Is this the one that you own? But it's for the public, right?
Well, it's a private gym. It's not a.
It's like a mini Mecca. It's honestly like a mini Gold's Gym. You walk in, there's photos everywhere. It's beautiful.
It's basically.
I need to go there then, don't I?
Yes.
Give me a call and come on over. We lock the door at the front. It's here. I'm in the gym right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And you just lock the door and you can do anything you want there. Just like your place, very private.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where's that in LA?
In West LA. It's just basically how do I explain it? Like 15 minutes from Beverly Hills, 10 minutes from Santa Monica.
Yeah.
It's just from where Isaac's Rising Sun office was. It's about 4 miles to the west.
Oh, okay. So next time I'm in LA, I'll come to the gym and you can train me till I'm sick again.
Absolutely. Maybe you can train me a thing too. So listen, let's jump into you. Let's talk about the kid Scott Adkins growing up in Coalfield and what you got started and how you got started. And was movies always a dream of yours, or was it something that came a little later? Or like did you have it kind of in your head before you saw Van Damme, for example?
Big Bruce Lee fan growing up. I mean, I just remember because I was a kid and there'd be this movie, Enter the Dragon, and like 3 times a year it'd be on late at night. So, got to record Enter the Dragon. And you'd watch that and you'd be like, man, this Bruce Lee guy's just amazing. And I love him in Enter the Dragon the most because he's kind of fierce and scary, much scarier than he is in the other movies, right? Which I hadn't seen because I was just a kid. But Enter the Dragon was big with me, and I was drawn to Bruce Lee in a big way. Jackie Chan in England, probably the same in Ireland, right? Didn't really come along till after Van Damme. I saw him in The Protector, in the video shop. And I remember they'd made him look like Bruce Lee, and I remember thinking, it's a Bruce Lee ripoff. But yeah, just drawn to physical guys. You know, my dad would bring home the Schwarzenegger movies, and I remember watching Rambo 2 when I was way too young to be watching it and things like that. And at the age of 13 was when Bloodsport came out. And of course, that's a very impressionable age. And seeing that just blew my mind, as I know it did yours, James.
Yeah, it came out in Ireland in September '89. So it would have been the same in England because England, Ireland had the same distributors, I think.
Yeah. Are we the same age?
I'm
49.
I'm 50.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same age.
Yeah, pretty much the same age. We grew up on the same movies. So
now, Scott, did you get to see Bloodsport on the big screen when it came out?
No, because I was like 13. This is the way I remember it. I was coming home from school and I've gone into it's not even a video shop. It was like a corner shop where you'd get your groceries from, just a little one on the estate. But they had a small video section. And I'd always look at the videos, you know, I loved it. And I just remember seeing that cover with Van Damme on the front. And it said martial arts, international martial arts sensation, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And you're like, wow, international martial arts sensation. Whoa, he's got a bit of a strange European name. Who is this guy? And I remember I'd hid the box behind some other boxes, and I ran back home and I said to my mom, got to come with me to Circle K. We've got to get this video. We've got to get it. Come on, got to get it now. And we rented it, and I didn't take it back for maybe 2 weeks and just watched it every day.
So we're gonna get a shot to see it on the big screen. March 11th, we're going to a showing with Sheldon down in San Diego, and they're going to put it on. This will be the first time I've ever seen it on the big screen. I couldn't be more excited. James, have you seen it on the big screen yet, James?
On the big screen about 20 years ago, Universal had did a Q&A with Sheldon, and I saw it that time. Yeah,
I cannot wait for that, man.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I mean, I remember because I was a huge fan then of Van Damme, and then Kickboxer was the next one that came out, maybe after Cyborg, can't remember. But I remember that was on the cinema and I couldn't go and watch that because that was 18, I guess. Or I remember not being able to see that. The first 18 certificate that I snuck in to see a Van Damme movie was actually Universal Soldier. I had to get in to see it. I mean, you know, Dolph was in it too. So, you know, I had to do my best.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we kind of did similar things where you kept the video for 2 weeks. I never brought it back at all. And the video store sent a note to the house saying we needed to, plus you had to send in the extra payments. My father was not a happy man, but I still have the VHS. I kept
You
it.
still have that same one, James? You still got, oh, you're kidding. That's awesome.
I'm sorry. I've had to keep it. I need it.
Yeah.
God, where do you put all your stuff? You have it all boxed up, or you have a display of it somewhere? Does it still play a motivation part in your life, or you've just it was great then and you've kind of moved on as we get a little older, obviously?
What stuff? What sort of stuff we're talking about?
Like all your movies and your posters and your this and your that. Where do you house that today? Or is it just all rolled up? Or is it?
I'm not the best, but I've got quite a bit of stuff up in the gym on the shelf. There was a bit of stuff behind that curtain there.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I'm not the best at keeping my things.
We build up a lot of stuff though over time. We border on hoarding at some point, I think. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm the opposite of a hoarder. I'm the binner. I put it in the
and that
bin.
you
I
know
Wait
go
that.
until
around
you
binning
see
stuff.
James's gym. You see James's gym,
Are you
and
labeling me a hoarder?
no,
Huh?
hey,
Hoarder.
no, but no, you walk in there. I mean, there's the stuff he has. It's mind blowing. You know, original. What you got? The original. Was it? Is it the Way of the Dragon poster behind you? Way back there behind you, James.
I got a bunch of original stuff.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's like walking through a museum. It's awesome. First day I walked in there, I was just in awe.
So
It's
Scott,
amazing.
Yeah.
what was the first system of martial arts you started training in, and when did you realize? Because as you know, like in Ireland, England, there weren't at that time there weren't a lot of martial arts schools, and if you got a taekwondo school and a basic karate school, that was kind of it. At least in Ireland, you know, you had if you wanted to do judo and other things, you kind of had to really look, which at that time wasn't that easy, as you know, because we didn't have internet, phones, blah, all that stuff. So when did you realize from your training, I'm going to really work gymnastics and kicks and stuff?
Well, funnily enough, the first martial art I did was judo. And I did it because my dad and my brother did it. And so I went along, and it was a great club. It was a very family orientated club. I mean, I'd go to the kids club, and then my dad would stay on for the adults. Um, and it's a great martial art to learn, you know, especially as a kid with your breakfast sequence, and all the discipline was there, and the respect, and you know, the courtesy and everything. But I always wanted to do the kicks, and I was quite good at kicking anyway. I'm not sure why, but I would practice myself, and I picked it up quite naturally. So when I started Taekwondo at 13, I remember thinking, wow, I don't know, I feel like I must be a bit big-headed. I feel like I'm one of the best kickers here. So it was something that was very natural to me. And Taekwondo suited me very well because, you know, it's all about the kicks and you've got those clean kicks. And I did that till I was about 17 and then moved on to kickboxing. But, you know, dipped my toe in lots of different styles and just trying to get as much info as I could.
So
Now,
when
was
did
the
you
Taekwondo ITF or WTF, Scott? Or do you
God,
remember?
was asked this question before. I think it was ITF.
Okay.
I get it confused, but it was the TAGB, Taekwondo Association of Great Britain.
Okay.
It
oh
wasn't like what you see in the Olympics. It was the point
Oh, so
sparring.
it's probably more ITF then. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
WTF is what you see in the Olympics. Yeah.
yeah, ITF.
so
But TAGB was the biggest association in the UK, and it was a really good association. Some great martial artists, and my personal instructor was a guy called Ron Sergiu, who out of all of them was the guy who was known for the kicks, and I just happened to be in his club, you know, so that was really good for me,
Stars
and I really
aligning.
looked up to him.
and
That's
Dave
awesome.
Yeah,
Oliver, wasn't Dave Oliver the head of the TAGB? I think
he
was it?
was the head. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, because there was Dave Oliver, there was Ron Sergiu, and there was another guy. There were three main guys, really, from what I remember, and Ron was one of them.
So what was your first acting gig? Literally your first one, where you step in front of the camera and you have to perform.
Yeah, so it was this Chinese movie, Hong Kong movie, Extreme Challenge. It was 1999, so they just started going into China quite a bit to make films, just over the border. And I got the opportunity to be one of the Western fighters, and they flew me out. And I was there for 6 weeks, and it was my first experience, and they paid me nothing. And I stayed in this weird hotel with cockroaches everywhere in the
Oh,
days before the internet, trying to read a book to get not fall asleep and watching Chinese TV and loving it.
and how did you find the choreography on that? Because you're already good at kicking and you can somersault and everything. So did you find it a challenge, or was it just something you could do anyway?
Well, like yourself, James, I used to make my own martial arts films because I know you made your own stuff,
I don't know if
right?
that was a good
Do you want
idea.
me to bring that up or not? But no, this is how we started, and it's how I started as well. So I would just get my mates together, and I would do a lot of comedy sketches and all sorts of stuff. It wasn't just martial arts, but obviously I would make a lot of martial arts stuff, and you'd figure out how to do the fight, do the angles, and how to do the reactions, and what looks good and what works and what doesn't, and the editing and everything. It's amazing how much you teach yourself just from having no experience, but picking up a camera and doing it and just trying to copy the films that you've watched. So by the time I got to do Extreme Challenge, I don't know, I'd educated myself in screen fighting. I'd already been thinking about it and done so much of my own stuff that I could already do it. And I knew what to expect. What I didn't realize was just how difficult it was going to be, especially on a Hong Kong movie, how physically taxing and uncompromising they are with it. And I remember my first day of a fight scene that I ever did. I remember just thinking, oh my God, this is so difficult. This is such hard work, but loving it. But like, yeah, you know, you've got to have a really strong work ethic.
Yeah, you do. You do. Now, you worked on The Accidental Spy. You did The Medallion. You did Unleashed. Talk a little bit about that. What was was it any different from Extreme Challenge?
Yeah, Accidental Spy was in Turkey, and it was, you know, first time meeting Jackie Chan, and I had a very small part. I was just a stuntman, really. But I was just so happy to be involved and to be part of it all and to try and learn. I went on to that movie because the director of Extreme Challenge was a stunt coordinator, and he recommended me. And then I was introduced to Jackie Chan, and then that led to The Medallion. And then my second film was like, it wasn't a film, it was this teaser trailer to pre-sale Black Mass 2. So we filmed this teaser trailer. And that led to me getting a part in Black Mass 2, the movie, which was Yuen Woo-Ping. So I was working with, and then Sammo was doing The Medallion. So I was working with all the top Hong Kong people and really just soaking as much in as I possibly could.
How was it working with Sammo? Because we hear so many good things about him.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to know him personally, but it was all business. But you know, they're tough out there. They expect good results, and that's fine. That's why their movies are so good. Wouldn't call it enjoyable. Just call it like you trying your best to keep up with these guys and do good work and hold your own amongst the greats. You know.
Yeah.
Well, and you stuck out.
It's scary. It's
and
scary.
Everybody says that you stuck out with that, you know, that you were okay getting hit. You were okay putting yourself on the line, which is, they respect that. And so I think that had to.
I just didn't want to get shouted at.
Yeah.
Look, do you want to punch me in the face? Okay.
Yeah, okay, do it.
I'll do whatever you want.
Sammo is pretty intense. He just walks on the set and he expects things to kind of just move, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, look, they come from that. I imagine. I mean, I don't know, but I think if they've grown up in that Peking opera school, training as hard as they trained, being beaten with sticks and all the rest of it, you can imagine that that's going to rub off on you. So when you're doing your own movie, you're probably a little bit like your teacher was with you. And that's absolutely fine, because the result is what we got the 80s and the 90s Hong Kong action films, which are unparalleled and will never be beaten. There will never be anything as good as those ever again. And the reason is because now you've got CGI and you've got wires and you've got AI, right? But back then you had to do it in camera. And if someone was going to do a stunt, they were going to do it for real. And they didn't have like a lot of money. So they're hitting the floor hard. They're doing crazy stuff and they're trying to outdo one another. And that's why you got people in Project A Part 2 falling off a bleeding balcony, smashing through a massive vase, looking like they've killed themselves.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it probably wasn't the smartest stuff, but I don't think we'll ever get anything as good as that ever again.
But nobody ever died. That's what's amazing, and thankfully.
Well, are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe we just don't know about it, James.
Yeah. You know, I think people did die.
Yeah, they covered that up.
Hurt. Yeah.
What's interesting, I was in Hong Kong last year and I was with Yuen Woo. And I said, can you do the kip up? And you know, he's in his late 70s. So he got down on the ground like a man in his late 70s. And he stayed there for about 10 seconds. And boom, he got up like a guy in his 20s.
Stayed there for 10 seconds. Yeah. But he's just thinking, right, just make sure my back's in place.
Yeah. I'm sure that he did it off his head. He didn't even use his hands.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I can't even do that. I'm like 30 years younger than him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know? When we had him on the podcast, it was awesome to hear what he did when he was younger at the Peking Opera. Like, he went through and talked about some of the stuff they would do, holding handstands for hours.
I didn't know you'd had him on the podcast. You speak good English.
We had an interpreter, his son.
His son translated.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a really cool guy. So Scott, roll ahead to 2001. How do you hear about Isaac Florentine and you send him a tape? And it essentially changes everything.
Yeah. He did an interview in Combat Magazine or Martial Arts Illustrated, and his address was in there. It turned out it was Don's address. Rising Sun Productions.
That's how I found him too. It was in Martial Arts. It was in Martial Arts Illustrated or Combat. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm having some of this. So I had my VHS showreel, which had me doing my martial arts, and it had me probably a clip from Doctors, which was a BBC daytime soap opera that I did. And I had like a little soliloquy of me doing Shakespeare and all this stuff. And I've sent it off. And apparently Don was trying to get him to watch it, and he didn't want to watch it because he'd seen so many bad ones. And eventually Isaac said, go on then, I'll look at it. And yeah, he was quite impressed. And he took the VHS, because back then you had to go, because you'd have a PAL VHS, right, for where we were.
Yeah.
And you have to go and get it converted to NTSC and all this malarkey. It was a whole thing. And then you got to send the VHS off. But he watched it, and he went into New Image and showed Boaz Davidson. And I think at the time he was getting ready to do a film with Van Damme, which didn't happen.
Do you know
about this?
Yes.
Was it The Tower or something? What was it called again?
There was a couple of them, and The Tower was mentioned as one of them. Off the top of my head.
The Tower was the one he was going to do with Van Damme, and he said, look, I'm doing this Van Damme film and I want to offer you a role. But so it was like a double whammy for me.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
It literally got cancelled the day before he was going to get on the plane.
Oh, right. Maybe he didn't have a partner then, because I didn't get down to that bit, but
yeah, they were prepping it and everything, and then he was about to leave and it fell apart.
Oh, okay.
So then
Special Forces is what happened next. And Isaac said to Boaz, and Boaz agreed that they should write a part for me in that movie. And that was the film I did. And I did it 6 weeks after finishing The Medallion with Jackie Chan. And I tore my hamstring for the first time really badly 6 weeks before I started Special Forces. So I had to really try and rehab that.
How'd you tear that, Scott?
Just doing like a jump front snap kick in the fight with Jackie Chan.
And it just...
Jackie just looks at me and goes, is it bad? I went, yeah. He goes, I did the same thing on the Tuxedo. You'll be fine.
So what was the deal with the fight scene at the end you have with that guy? There was a whole thing about the hair. What was that?
Yeah, we needed a good end bad guy. And Isaac thought he was great, but because he's a stuntman, and the stunt coordinator was like, yeah, but he was refusing to cut his hair or something because, you can't have long hair in the military. And Isaac just went, why not? It looks great. Put the beret on, and he had the long hair. And he had a great look. This guy, I mean, he was built, he could move well, he had an intimidating presence. It's one of my best fight scenes still to this day. He was fantastic.
It's a fantastic fight scene. Now roll ahead to January 2005, and you go to do Undisputed with Isaac and Michael Jai White. I had a question for you. Obviously, the movie's phenomenal. You're in phenomenal shape. Everything is, for lack of a better word, perfect. How did you find, or was there any confines to trying to doing those kicks and gymnastics within the confines of a boxing ring?
Yeah, the ring was quite small on the first, Undisputed 2. It was smaller than I imagined it to be. We had a much bigger one for the third one. Oh man, I was at my peak at that point. I mean, I put on as much muscle as I could. When Isaac told me he wanted to give me the role, I had about 6 months. So when I'm doing those flips and the kicks, I weigh heavier, and it's a different thing, isn't it? So when you're doing a back somersault or front somersault and you've got, an extra stone on you or whatever, it makes a difference. So it's a lot more pressure on the joints.
Yeah. How much did you weigh in there? What were you, like 14 stone?
I remember I was 91 kilograms, whatever that is. Wow. Over 14 stone, yeah.
Close to 200 pounds.
Yeah. I haven't got a clue about the pounds. hardly got a clue.
Let me ask you this, Scott. What was your program in regards to working up to that? I mean, you put on a ton of muscle. What did you do? Was it bodybuilding type stuff and explosive strength and conditioning? Yeah.
But bodybuilding, which I've always loved. And I've recently had to switch it up, to be honest, because you get too many injuries.
Yeah.
But I was in good shape already. I'd been, building up my physique, wanting to look a certain way since I was 12,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I needed, when I knew I was going up against Mike, I knew I needed to get bigger.
Yeah.
So I just.
Now, were you an ectomorph kind of growing up? Were you more of a skinnier type build, or did you have the
no, I'm not scared.
muscle?
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know if I'm an ectomorph. What? There's three, isn't there? Meso.
Yeah,
what is
ecto, meso, and endo. So endomorph.
Probably meso.
Meso. Okay.
But I'm very fast twitch muscle fiber.
Ah, gotcha.
Very explosive.
Yeah.
And I know that apparently because I can be all out, and as soon as I tire, I've got 3 reps left and I'm done. Apparently that makes you fast twitch muscle fibers. I didn't know that until recently, but I knew I had fast twitch muscle fibers because I've always been very explosive and athletic in that way. Sprinting, I can't long distance run,
which is the best for putting on muscle. That's the best for putting on muscle.
Yeah. So it was something that was not difficult for me.
Good.
Moving ahead, Scott, you did 4 movies. I think it's 4 movies with Jean-Claude, right? You did The Shepherd, Assassination Games, Universal Soldier, and Expendables 2. Am I losing one there?
Yeah. No. That's it. Yeah.
So how was it working with your lifelong hero? So you obviously meet him you met him in LA I remember you telling me at one point you were going to meet him with
I was took to meet him, and I don't know, I met him. I had a chat with him, and then he wanted to meet me again. And I used to have this when I lived in LA. I had a voicemail thing on the phone, and I wish I kept it, but he left a message saying that he had a great idea and that he wanted to make a Kickboxer TV series and he wanted me to star in it. Imagine me at that point, 2003, getting that message. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about that. It never happened, and then at some point he wanted to work with Isaac because he saw Undisputed 2, which we all know was a great film. And he thought, okay, yeah, I'll work with Isaac. Definitely want to work with Isaac now. And The Shepherd was the movie. And Moshe Diamant was producing it. And Isaac really wanted me to be the main baddie. But there was some resistance to that. So we created this henchman character and bumped up his role a bit. And I was happy with that,
Right. And jump ahead a few years later, you do Assassination Games. So talk a little bit about that. That was directed by Ernie Barbarack, right?
Yeah. That came completely out of the blue. It was about 2010. I hadn't worked for ages, to be honest. So I was happy when it came along. And it just came out of the blue. You're going to be the lead next to Van Damme. I was like, okay, let's go. Very short shooting schedule. Didn't have a lot of time to really do the action much justice, and I wasn't really in a position to demand at that point. I want more time in the schedule for the action, which I would do now. I was stepping in there. It's Van Damme's movie. I just wanted to do a good job and play a good role and to do this starring role alongside the man that you've grown up having posters of him all over the wall. I mean, look, it's crazy, isn't it? We talk about him in such reverence because how can you not? He was such a huge impact on teenagers at that point in the mid-90s, late 90s. I mean, it was just like nothing you'd ever seen. And so to work with him, it's just, I think, I sometimes think to myself, it must be difficult to be in his shoes when you're working with another actor and he's pulling out a scrapbook that is kept of all your cuttings from the newspapers. Like, hang on a minute, mate. You're supposed to be a professional. Yeah. But that's what I did on The Shepherd. Can't believe I did it, but there you go. I wanted him to know, mate, you had a huge impact on me.
Yeah. Wasn't he fabulous on screen? I mean, let's face it. I don't know. Maybe this sounds a little weird, but isn't he beautiful on screen in those early movies? His
Yeah,
physique.
no, it's yeah.
I mean, the way he moved, his gracefulness. I mean,
Yeah.
from the
We've
late
never
80s,
seen anything like it at that time. It didn't
No,
exist.
amazing, amazing. So
no,
now,
because we had, we had Bruce Lee. And I didn't know about Jackie Chan at that point. We had Chuck Norris, and Chuck's great. And Chuck's a legend.
Yeah.
But Van Damme he had the grace.
Yeah.
Graceful, balletic style of beautiful looking kicks, beautiful looking kicks.
So
And yeah,
aesthetic.
I
He
know
was
what you're
just
saying. Let's be
aesthetic.
honest. He's a very handsome man. So
Yeah.
he has probably one of the best physiques that I've ever seen of any action star. The best physique. You can argue Arnold's better because he's Mr. Universe, but for the size and the martial artist that Van Damme was, incredible physique because he had those massive arms, didn't he?
Yeah.
And
still has.
and
These are
he's
huge.
a good looking dude, but what I think now, apart from the fact that he was moving in a way that other European guys did not at the time, he had a vulnerability that you didn't get from action stars.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really separated him from the past. Apart from the fact that he was very charismatic, he really exposed himself, his soul to the audience. Like you think about Bloodsport, which is cheesy film in many ways, and you watch it now. People probably laugh at this bit, but at the end when he gets blinded, like you think it's his first film, and he is not shy to just expose his soul to the audience with that scream. Wow.
He screams. Yeah.
Now people might laugh at that, but he is opening his soul to the camera there, and that is what acting is all about. And it was that emotional availability that made him different from all the others.
That gave me chills right there. That
Yeah.
just gave me
When
chills.
Yeah.
you did on Universal Day of Reckoning, you did that with a blown out ACL, right?
Yeah, 6 weeks before we shot that. It's a 6 week thing for me. I did the same thing with hamstring, but that was a really bad one. And then during the filming of that, I hurt my meniscus again really badly in the same knee.
Now, how were you able to perform the kicks with a blown out knee? Did you have it strapped up?
Badly. Well, when I got there, I didn't realize that you could get this the knee brace. I didn't know about it. So for the first half of the film, I'm just doing my best to get through it, and my knee's wobbling all over the place. And then somebody says, you can get these knee braces. So when I got that, I was like, all right, this really is helpful. But for half the movie, it was only when I did this, I did the Bruce Lee backflip kick on Andrei Arlovsky. And I knew that if he held my bad knee and he gave me a little bit of a shove, I kick him with my right leg and I land on my right leg, and it was the left one that was injured. But Andrei Arlovsky, being the way he is, tried to put me through the flipping ceiling. And I over rotated, and instead of landing on my front right leg, I landed on the back one and felt my meniscus just smash. And after that, they got me the knee brace, and it was actually easier once the swelling of that had gone down.
Yeah, interesting. Now, rock ahead to, and there's other ones in between, but I'm trying to go through them kind of in segments so I don't miss anything. Expendables 2. That must have been a fantastic movie when you're on set and you have all the action guys on set one time. Talk about that. I mean, that had to be some phenomenal experience.
Yeah, well, I was almost in the first one, but that didn't work out. I was like, oh, man, I was gutted about that. But I'm glad it worked out the way it did, because I had a better role in the second. And being Van Damme's henchman worked out just fine, apart from the fact that I had to die, but never mind.
I think you had the worst death in there too.
Yeah, I didn't know my whole head was going to come off.
Yeah.
I remember Stallone kept saying to Statham, I'm telling Statham, you're going to kick the shit out of him. You're going to kick the shit out of him. Oh, yeah, all right. You tell him. I'm ready. But Statham didn't want to get hit that much, which is fine. But to his credit, he's like, Scott, listen, man, I don't like to take many punches, but, throw as many kicks as you want, but I'm going to be ducking and diving. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. As long as I can show my stuff, then that's brilliant. And I think we had a good fight.
Oh, it's awesome really fight.
Now, what was the scene like? What was the scene like when Van Damme kicks that knife into your chest?
Well, because Hemsworth told that story on the Graham Norton show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may have kicked him. My memory's a bit fuzzy. Do I remember him? If I'm honest, I don't my memory's terrible.
Well, you were
Too many
holding,
blows to my head.
you were holding the knife, and Jean-Claude's kicking it, and
Yeah,
Hemsworth.
what I remember more is that sometimes the knife was in my hand, and sometimes the knife was not in my hand, and he's kicking my hand into Hemsworth's chest. Do I remember him kicking Hemsworth in the chest? I don't remember that, but he might have done, because somehow seems familiar. But what I do remember is that sometimes he'd be kicking my hand, and I'd be like going, that really hurts. But, you know, I didn't want to show anything. I wouldn't show anyone that I was hurt, but it was quite painful on my thumb.
So now,
but he had to actually kick my hand. I mean, there's no other way to do it.
No other way.
But when you're on the 10th take, you're like, oof.
Yeah, and Jean-Claude's got a very powerful round kick, as you well know.
Well, yeah, and of course he wasn't doing it full force. He was doing it movie style, but still, you know.
But he's hitting you with boots on, and you're like you said, after 10 times, just keep getting hit. It's going to hurt. Now that's a phenomenal scene, Scott, and everybody that's anybody in that film is there. How long did it take you guys to shoot that scene? And when you walk up to Statham and you look at him and you say, "Pick it up,"
yeah,
that's a great scene. Talk to us a little bit about that one.
I mean, it was a couple of days, I think, and we did Over the Shoulder of Us first, so it was on all the Expendables, because Van Damme had the majority of the dialogue. I think they wanted to give him a chance to own the dialogue a bit before they turned around on him. And so we did them, and then we did him and me in the background. Yeah, it was a couple of days. Yeah, I remember that helicopter coming in, and I'm standing looking away, and the power of this thing, I think it was one of the ones with the two blades. It was a big helicopter. I remember just, you know, you think, I can't look back. You're just thinking, Jesus, I hope something doesn't go wrong. But the force of the helicopter trying to stand there looking cool was quite difficult because it was going to blow me off my feet.
Really interesting. So now,
did you ad-lib some of those lines, Scott, with Statham? No, those were all on the page.
I'm not ad-libbing Stallone's dialogue. I'll do exactly as I'm told.
Yeah, does that famous story Arnold tells where when he's in the first Terminator, he says,
I will be back.
I'll be back. And Arnold, of course, couldn't really say it properly, the whole I'll thing. And he said, well, I would say I will be back. And Cameron says to him, I don't tell you how to act, you don't tell me how to write.
Yeah.
Much better. I'll be back.
Yep.
You did 7 or 8 movies with Isaac, and talk to us a little bit about that, Scott. Like, the first Ninja is a phenomenal movie. Ninja 2 is a great movie. Talk to us a little bit of how your work relationship progressed with Isaac.
Yeah, well, he discovered me. I mean, there's people that recognized me before, but he was the one that really gave me the shot that meant something, i.e. Undisputed 2. When I did Undisputed 2 and when it came out, that's when things started to change for my career. So I owe everything to Isaac. And out of every person I've ever met in Hollywood, he's the nicest guy. He's a genuine, great family man, good person. And I'll do anything for him. And so I like to keep working with Isaac, and we're hoping to get another one off the ground because he started it. And so, you know, I'll keep working with the sensei as often as possible.
He is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Even, and you're right, when I first came here, you know, I mean, I didn't have anybody. I didn't really know anybody here. You know, Thanksgiving, everything like that, he would invite me around to his house. I think you were there a couple of times. And he's really a nice man. Now, rocking ahead to another director you've worked a lot with, which is Jesse Johnson.
Yeah.
And you did an early movie with him too called The Pit Fighter.
Yeah.
The Pit Fighter.
Pit Fighter, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I remember.
I think actually Savage Dog should have been called Pit Fighter because I was literally fighting in a pit. But anyway. Jesse said, I'll come and do this little role. And it was back in around 2003 or 4. And so, yeah, happy to do it. And didn't hear from Jesse again for ages. I mean, we may have stayed in contact by email like a few times, and then it all came around again for Savage Dog, and we shot that 2015, I think, or 16.
Yeah. And you played an Irish guy in that, right?
I did. God, don't know if I could do it now. I've completely forgot that accent. Not sure how good it was at the time, but did my best.
Now, talk about Accident Man. Again, put you with Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
The really
Well,
good movie.
Accident Man was a comic book that I grew up reading, and I always thought, man, this would make a great movie. And so as I was getting into the business around 2010, I reached out to the writers and got the rights, and I started to write it with my current writing partner, Stu Small, who I know from school. And I remember saying to him, well, we'll just start writing it and then we'll get a real writer. But it turned out we didn't need to. We got that written and we got it to Sony and they wanted to make it. And actually, the first time I'd ever produced a film, we got it made so quickly. It was like, oh, this is easy. What's all the fuss about?
Yeah.
But it's not easy. But just that first time, it was like we wrote it, we gave it to them. They said, yeah, let's do it. And it was done. But that was my passion project, really.
Scott, let me ask you this, because there's a lot of good comedic timing in that. Have you ever considered doing more comedy?
Well, the film's just come out called Reckless, which is a full-on comedy. The only problem is we had to shoot it in 14 days. And comedy is like action.
Yeah.
If you haven't got enough time, it's not going to be as good as it could be because, you know, I worked on this film, The Brothers Grimsby, with Sacha Baron Cohen, and they had two writers off the camera, and they literally would call out ideas, say this, say that, do this, try that, and you would have like a camera on me and a camera on him, and we're just improvising, and you would go on for a long time, and you would do a lot of shit that wouldn't make the grade and isn't funny, but you've only got to find that one bit that works. And it's good. And the more time you've got to do that, the better. And with an action sequence, you need more time to get the different angles and to really make it look great. And with the comedy, you just need that time to just find that one moment that really works. And that's what you need, unless you're just insanely funny comedic genius, which I'm not, but I do enjoy doing it. But
I notice like with comedy, when you just let it happen, don't think about it, everybody's in there, improvise, that's when the magic happens. You know, that seems when the best comes out. Like you said, just try it this way, try it this way, try it that way.
Yeah.
Always
you
comes
need
out.
to be relaxed and not be afraid and try different things. If you've got 2 takes, you're like, all right, well, I'll try this one. Oh, that was out of focus. Okay, well, I've got 1 take. I hope this bit works. And then you're moving on.
Yeah.
How was Vinnie Jones?
Yeah, cool. I mean, he's as he, sorry, my phone's beeping. He's as he is in most of his movies in real life.
Yeah. An interesting character.
An interesting character.
But behind it, he's a nice man.
Yeah, he's a nice man. He's a nice man.
Yeah.
But he gets on with it and does his job as a professional.
An interesting movie you did with a very interesting cast, Triple Threat. Iko Uwais, Tony Jaa, yourself, Michael J. White, Michael Bisping. I found that to be a very interesting movie, interesting concept. It worked really good. What was it like shooting that movie? Did you guys have a long shoot schedule, or was it a typical, like, shot very fast? How did it go?
Yeah, that's the thing, because people see that movie with all the action stars and they think, oh yeah, it's a martial arts Expendables. And I guess they assume that we had the budget of an Expendables movie or even like an Ip Man, but we did not. We had the budget of like a straight to DVD type thing. We shot it in, I don't know, I forget, but maybe it's less than 30 days. Maybe it's like 25 days or something like that. And so, you know, again, you need the time to make those fights really good. So, for instance, Ip Man 4, my fight with Donnie Yen, we spent 7 days on it. But my fight with Tony Jaa in Triple Threat is 3 days. So, yeah, and the fights are the same length. So you just you can't be as precious about making everything look perfect. You got to move on and just keep going and grinding it out. But that was the issue with that film. Also, we all signed on to do it because we all wanted to work with one another. We thought that concept was great, but we signed on to it without a finished script. And to be honest, when I got the script, I was a bit like, we're doing this? Okay, fine. But that was another thing.
How about working with Bisping? How was he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, he's great. He's so funny.
Yeah,
and,
awesome.
You know, one of England's best MMA fighters. Pleasure to have him around. Great guy. It's just hilarious.
Can you believe he did all those fights back in the day, won all those fights with one eye? With one eye, we ended up finding out.
Yeah, well, when he was filming that, he was the champ. And his knee was messed up. Remember, we're doing this running through the alleyway chase scene. and his knee was just wrecked, but he was still doing it. But it was like, aren't you meant to be getting your knee better for the GSP fight? Anyway,
yeah.
But he was telling me about the eye at the time,
Oh,
and
really?
it was a big secret.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he showed me his eye, and I was like, how can you fight with that? Is that even legal? But
Yeah.
he'd memorized the eye chart apparently, so he could pass the test with the doctors.
Oh, interesting.
Tough guy.
Tough dude.
When you did Ip Man 4, how did
Yeah.
you find that the filmmaking style had evolved or was different from, for example, when you started with Extreme Challenge? Obviously, you have a bigger budget and things, but just actual technique of the filming.
I mean, Ip Man 4 was probably the biggest budget Chinese movie I ever made. And so you had the luxury of time, and it was they tried to be perfect with all the fight stuff. Even on the Medallion was a chaotic production. He was going off and making the tuxedo halfway through and then coming back, and it felt a bit chaotic. Accident Man, sorry, Accidental Spy, I wasn't in it enough really to, and it was my second film. I wasn't paying as much attention as probably should have done. But Ip Man 4 was like a glossy A-list Hong Kong movie. So, it felt really good at the time to do it. But still, they'd work without a script. And I'd come up and they'd say, and they'd wrote a script. So I've learnt it. And then I get there and they say, okay, we're not doing that now. We're just making it up. And I remember saying to the director, well, that's a shame because I had planned on doing a good performance in this movie, but okay, fine. And they just talk through what they're going to do dialogue wise, and you figure it out. And you got the luxury of time, and then you go ahead and you do it. But I'm using an American accent and stuff, and I want to make sure that that's working and all those things. And there's a lot lost in translation. It was only like halfway through the movie that I realized what they really wanted was the full metal jacket drill sergeant guy.
Yeah.
But I was getting lost in translation. And there was this other thing with the fighting style, because obviously the other Ip Man films, it's always karate versus Wing Chun, the Japanese style versus Chinese style. And I'm saying, well, I'm a racist American that looks down on Chinese. I'm pretty sure I'm looking down on the Japanese because it's not that far after World War II. Why am I revering this karate style if that's my character? So I was saying, I understand you want me to do kicks, and if I don't do kicks, people are going to be upset. But the character kind of evolved to be a bit more of a wrestler type boxer with powerful kicks. But that was a bit tricky as well to navigate through.
Now, you ended up in China and you received, was it Best Stunt Performers Award? What exactly was the award? But how was that? That was pretty impressive to receive that award.
It was 2017 Jackie Chan Action Awards, and Boyka Undisputed 4 was being released in China, so they'd organized to put us in the festival. So they invited me over there, and I didn't know what was going on. Again, lost in translation. I thought I'm just being invited to be at the festival, and Iko is going to be there and Tiger Chan, and we're going to see Jackie Chan. And yeah, great, I'm coming. I was flying back from Australia anyway because I was doing a tour, so it was perfect. Then I get there and we're sitting down in the ceremony, and the translator leans over and goes, "Okay, if you win, you go up on your own. But if we win Best Film, we'll all go up." And I'm like, "What? We're nominated? What are you talking about?" So I didn't even know I was in competition. And then you've got Chris Tucker coming on stage, and it comes up Best Fight. I'm looking around. I'm in China at all these Chinese movies. There's Chinese stars there. I think I'm not going to win this. And then they give the Best Fight to Boyka. I'm like, oh my God, go up and get that award. Next one comes up, Best Action Actor. I'm like, well, I'm definitely not going to get this because I could see the other guy right there. And they give me Best Action Actor, the Jackie Chan Action Awards. I mean, I don't want an Oscar. That's what I want. Jackie Chan Action Award for Best Action Actor. One of the greatest days of my life.
Yeah, that's better than an Oscar, bro.
Yeah.
And it was presented to you by Jackie Chan, right? I think I saw a picture of you and Jackie, right? Or something?
Yeah, it was presented by actually, I forget his name now, comedic actor from loads of those Jackie Chan films. And the other one was Chris Tucker. But obviously at the end, Jackie was there and I got a picture with him and my wife holding the thing.
That's pretty
And
cool.
yeah, man, that's amazing, amazing, amazing to be recognized. I remember accepting the award and looking out at all the people, and literally the Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars cast is right there looking at me. Yun Hua, Yun Biao,
Wow.
all the faces that you know and we've grown up watching. And it was
Wow.
like it was in some sort of surreal daydream.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
Amazing.
it
Didn't
still
expect
feels
it.
like a daydream. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
working with
Because
your
the fact that I sat down, I didn't even know I was nominated, makes it even more bizarre.
Yeah.
But bizarre in a good way.
Yeah.
Bizarre in a good way, yeah.
Way.
Yeah.
So, what was the first studio movie, big studio movie you worked on? Was that the Bourne Ultimatum?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
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 So what was that like, Scott, working on that? I mean, you're in there, you're not in a big role in there, but so how
Yeah.
did you like how was the filming of that and everything? Was it what you would think it would be being the big budget that it is?
Not really, because it's a different style of filmmaking with Greengrass. That's documentary style of filmmaking. So I remember auditioning and doing the reading, and they said, right, yeah, we like your audition. Now you've got to go over to the set and you're going to do a fight rehearsal. I'm thinking, well, I've got this in the bag then, because I'm going to. And as soon as I get there, the stunt guys are like, oh, Scott Adkins. All right, Scott, yeah, all right, you don't need to do it, mate. Fine. And so they give
That's
me the
awesome.
role, and then I fly out the weekend to Madrid. I don't know what the part is properly. I haven't seen the script, and I'm with the other guy, Chucky Ben, and they say, right. So what's the part? What's the part? You're an agent, whatever. But what we need you to do is get in this car, and you're going to follow that car. You can drive, Scott, and you're going to follow the car in Madrid Friday night traffic, and we're going to have a camera in the back, and then you're going to get out here, and you're going to walk up the stairs. And I didn't even really know what the part was. So that's the way it was. It was like run and gun indie filmmaking.
One of the
And you
things
don't
I
know where
find
the cameras are. You don't know where the cameras are, which is fine when you're acting. But then you get to do the fights and you still don't know where the cameras are.
that's so
That's
weird.
bizarre. Yeah, that's bizarre.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I find with a lot of these movies. While they have a huge budget and stuff, they kill the action because while you know there's a fight taking place, and outside of a hero shot here and there, you actually don't really see the action. It's all close, fast cuts. Well, what's your thought on
Well,
that? Obviously, with your
I've
action,
thought a lot about this. I was thinking about this today. I mean, if you think about it, in the 80s, the action star didn't need to be a good actor. I mean, Stallone was the exception. But you think of the others like Arnold and Van Damme and Chuck Norris and Seagal, acting wasn't as important as looking like you could kick some ass. And you're going to do all the action in camera. And no one else can do what you can do because you're a trained martial artist and you've been in the gym building your body up for years. You look the part. You don't need to fake it. That is who you are. And then The Matrix happens in '99. And that's the first time they took a non-action guy, even though we now know that Keanu is insanely dedicated to whatever he does. So he's a different beast, really. But they trained him up and then made him look like he could do kung fu. But it took 6 months training to do that. And you've got to be of that mindset to dedicate yourself to do that, which not a lot of actors are. And then you go to the Bourne films. And of course, Matt Damon is insanely dedicated as well. But that camera shaky thing gave them a way to disguise the action and make someone look better than they are just by the camera tricks. Now we come to like the John Wick movies and what goes on now. The stunt teams are so advanced at taking an actor and training them up quickly and knowing where to hide the stunt double and knowing all the angles and prevising the hell out of the action sequences. And they can deliver great action like much easier than before. And then you've got the comic book movies where all the actors are just it's a stunt man in the suit. It's not even the actor. And then you get to the CG part where now you've got physical human beings that are computer generated. And now you get into AI where they're just prompting, I want Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise fighting each other. So this is the evolution of the action star. What it teaches us is that what's important is acting and story. And no longer can you come into the business and say, look, I've got a great physique. I'm a world martial arts champion. I'm going to be a Hollywood star. No, you're not. if you haven't got the acting talent, or if you can't come at it at an angle of I'm a storyteller and I'm going to create my own content and it's going to be great and people are going to want to watch it, that's the evolution of the action star, isn't it? So anyone out there wanting to get into it now, you better just get into it as an actor, because pretty soon they're going to be two stunt guys in a motion capture rig doing a fight scene, and they're going to stick Brad Pitt's head on the one and Tom Cruise's head on the other. And who does the regular audience want to go and watch in an action film? Do they want to go and watch, I don't know, picking out, don't offend anyone, a low level? Do they want to watch Scott Adkins in the best action movie? Or would they rather have the best action movie starring Brad Pitt?
I'm going to go
if
with
you
Scott
have to
Adkins.
choose. Okay, yeah. But most people, they're just going to, well, I'll take the biggest movie star or the greatest actor. If he can look as good as Bruce Lee, I'll have Leonardo DiCaprio do everything else in between. And when you've closed that gap and it's seamless, that's pretty much where we're at.
No, I think you're 100% on there. I mean, I know when I came out to do the business, I mean, I haven't really done, I mean, I've done a little of action with it, but the majority of my stuff that I've done have been, TV, real roles, and the comedy. And, that's nothing I wanted to get into, but that was the route. I mean, I think you've hit it right on the money, to be honest.
Scott, I think years ago, you realized that from the very start, pretty much, because I think, if I recall correctly, you and I had a conversation way back, 2004, and you said to me, and I remember vividly, we're driving on the 10 freeway to get on the 405. You had picked me up, and we were driving the goals. And you said what was really important. I remember what you said. You said, really what's important, mate, you said, is to be good at acting. So you realized that very early on. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always knew that, but I was always very interested in acting. I mean, I studied acting and I went to drama school. My problem was I was so shy when I was younger that to stand up in front of an audience and act was soul destroying to me. Like it would crush my confidence. But martial arts, because it came so naturally to me and I was good at it, I wasn't a natural actor, but I was a natural martial artist. So my martial arts was way ahead of my acting ability. But as I've, grown and got better, it's like, and I'm getting older, my martial arts is coming down with my bad back. And hopefully my acting is still getting better.
Well, it's funny you say that because, it's hard to beat the clock, right? I mean, no matter how good we are in your 20s or 30s, it just, everything gets a little slower as we age, and especially in the late 40s and 50s. So for someone like yourself, it's important to be better at the acting, in a sense, at this point in your career, than be better at martial arts. And so, Scott,
but storytelling, like everything, filmmaking, storytelling, I think the most important parts are, I'm an actor, so the acting paramount, but to be a storyteller, to be a filmmaker, like that's why I respect Stallone so much, because he's the action guy, but he's a true storyteller, and he's written amazing stories, and a brilliant director and a great actor.
He's a genius. He's reinvented himself time and time and time again. And look, he's at 79, 80 right now, and he has this really successful the TV
still on top. He's never not been on top.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, there's a couple of years after Oscar, but apart from that, he's always
reinvented himself. He's reinvented himself so many times. I mean, Tulsa King's
he's smart.
Huge.
He's smart.
Yeah. And he used, one thing I noticed too, he utilizes those resources around him very well. Other actors that he's involved with or worked with in the past, he'll bring them back in. The dude's a genius. Honestly, he is.
He is a genius and insanely creative. And it always it's funny how you get like musicians want to act, and actors a lot of the time play instruments. And Frank Stallone, his brother, is a singer and all that. And I play the guitar and all this sort of stuff. Creative people, it's like it's interesting to me. I'm very creative. I'm bursting with ideas all the time. I just get a bit lazy.
Write them down, Scott. Write all your ideas down, because
No, I do. The only problem is the next day I look at them and I'm like, oh, that was shit.
But keep it. You never know. Tomorrow you might think it's a
Yeah,
great
maybe
idea.
it wasn't. Maybe it was good after all.
You never know. So listen, you have such a body of work. We can't get through it all. But I want to jump to John Wick 4. Talk to
Yeah.
us about how did you get into that movie? Obviously, we know through Chad, but like, did he give you a call? Were you supposed to be in a couple of previous ones here or there? And what was it like in the suit?
And that
Did you know
suit, man.
did you know you were going to be in that suit, or was that something? Oh, by the way, Scott, you're in a suit.
Right. Well, I worked with Chad on Expendables 2 because he was a second unit director. And then on Brothers Grimsby, again, he was a second unit director. And I knew him before that. And so even when John Wick 1 was happening, I was like, oh, gotta get a part in John Wick. Ah, didn't do it. John Wick 2. Ah, gotta get a part in John Wick 2. Ah, damn. They've given the main villain to that girl. Ah, John Wick 3. Ah, Mark Koskis has got it. Oh, okay. Well, I love Mark. Fine. And then John Wick 4, I'm like, geez, I've got to get something this time. And he said there was 2 parts I'm thinking of before. And he's very cryptic with it all. And he said, I've got a role for you, but in an email, I don't want to, I need to talk to you about it. I'm thinking, what's going on? And then he tells me, remember when you saw Sammo Hung in Enter the Dragon? And he starts doing all those backflips, but he's fat. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be you. Like, what? And so, yeah, I was down with it immediately. I think because he'd seen that I'm basically a character actor as often as I can be. When I get the chance to play a character, I go for it. And so he felt that I could do it.
How was it being in that suit? I mean, was it?
It wasn't that bad. I had a cooling thing and everything. It wasn't that heavy. The trick was to make it look heavier than what it was. And the trick was to not like be too jumpy. You know, like the fat dragon thing that Donnie Yen did when he starts doing the flying kicks. It looks like a suit. But so you have to sell the reality of the weight of that body and how you move through space.
Yeah. Now, was that character, your character, modeled after Sammo's character in the first SPL with Donnie Yen?
Yeah, he never said so at the time. But then I'm putting the suit on and I'm going, this is SPL, isn't it? I remember saying to Chad, are we ripping off Sammo? And he didn't say anything at the time. And then later on, he said, yeah.
So listen, how was it doing the fight scene with Keanu, and what were the complexities of moving around in that suit?
The suit was flexible. Like I actually was the stunt double for Batman on The Dark Knight Rises. Okay. Now I only worked on it for 6 weeks. That's when I did my ACL in, but they'd already offered me Universal Soldier. So I left. But anyway, the point is, I put on the bat suit, and if you threw a kick, it would literally pull your head down because everything was so tight. That's why there's no kicking in the first Batman film. Oh. Anyway, this suit, it was very flexible. So no issues. It's just, it was cumbersome. But working with Keanu is amazing. And we've all seen the behind the scenes stuff of the John Wick films, and they previs the hell out of it and they train the actors religiously and all that. So I went into it thinking, just going to be training all the time and working this fight with Keanu constantly. And I didn't rehearse with Keanu once. And I had said, I didn't expect that. Why didn't you rehearse with me? And why didn't I rehearse with Keanu? And he says, because you've done how many martial arts films? We know you can do it. We're going to give it you on the day and you're going to do it. It's like a Hong Kong movie. And Keanu Reeves is the same. And I'm like, yeah, awesome. Okay, well, that makes perfect sense. If I'd gone into it as an actor that didn't have the martial arts pedigree, then they would have drilled it into me, but they knew they didn't need to do that. But I didn't expect that, so that was interesting.
How long did it take to get in that suit, Scott? Was it pretty easy?
So it was 3.5 hours for the makeup. The suit was pretty. You slip on the body and put the suit over the top, but it was the face that took the time, and then an hour to take it off. Yeah, Mr. Killer, Mr. Vic.
So now,
yes, sir.
Move ahead to the rip, and you do an excellent.
Oh rip. Yeah.
You know, you
rip's great.
Finally.
You could be. His name won't come to me. What's his name? You look like his brother.
Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You actually could be brothers. It was a perfect casting. You know.
Yeah. Do you know what? When I was in LA, around the time I was training with you, I went for an audition for a film called Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, and it ended up being a Matthew McConaughey film. But at the time, it was going to be Ben Affleck, and I auditioned to be his brother in that way back when. But people would always say, "Yeah, you look like Ben Affleck," and so I don't know. The opportunity came up. The Joe Carnahan was a fan of what I did in Avengement, and he just offered me the role. And yeah, it was great to, work with those guys and just act with these Hollywood A-listers. And that's what it's all about. That is the thing I'm most passionate about at this point, is proving to people that I can and always have been able to act. It's just that, some of these movies I do, as you know, they're shot so quick, and some of the times the script's not great, and a lot of the time I've got like two devils on my shoulder. I've got this one here is the acting devil saying, "Go on, get another take. You deserve more than one take. Two takes isn't enough." I remember being on Doctor Strange, lying down on the floor dead, watching Benedict Cumberbatch and Mads Mikkelsen do the scene for the whole day. For the whole day. I remember thinking to myself, now I know I'm not as good an actor as these two, but if I had a whole day for a scene, I'd be a lot fucking better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I'm doing these martial arts films and I'm exhausted anyway from all the fighting, and I want more takes for my acting, but then I've got the other devil going, no, screw the acting. We've got to get on with the fighting. That's what the fans want, because you've never got enough time. So on a movie like John Wick or The Rip or Doctor Strange, they cut out my dialogue, but you get the opportunity to show what you can actually do, equal playing field.
Yeah. How long did it take to shoot The Rip, Scott?
The majority, that big opening scene that I was in, was done in one day, and then I came in on the second day to complete that little fight. Then I came in for one more day, and then another day at the end. So 4 days in total for me.
4 days. Prisoner of War, Scott. How was Prisoner of War? It's an excellent movie. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, James.
Excellent.
Yeah,
it's a really excellent movie. So talk to us. What was your time on that? Because it's very much like a Rambo-esque, in a sense, type of movie.
Yeah, I had the idea for that film. I thought I'd love to do some sort of martial arts version of The Deer Hunter. And I mean, the section that we all remember with the Russian roulette. So I thought, well, Prisoner of War, but you can't make it like Bridge Over the River Kwai with these whole massive armies. It's got to be much more down and dirty, more like The Deer Hunter. And that was the concept. And my concept was, in the 1950s Japan, this guy bursts into the middle of a Japanese karate dojo and challenges the teacher, who is turns out was the guy that was the leader of the camp, and he's fighting him. And that fight takes place throughout the whole of the movie, and you keep flashing to this fight that's happening in the 50s as you tell the story of what happened in the 40s. Anyway, it got changed. But anyway, the initial concept, not an original concept, was my idea, and the producer Mark Klebanoff took it away and wrote it and changed some things along with Louis Mandylor, the director, but changed many things for the better. And we made a good film, and it was a low budget film, didn't have a lot of time, and the set was getting washed away by typhoons and all sorts of nonsense. And if you'd seen what we were dealing with over there, you wouldn't have believed that we could have made a good movie, but yeah, we did.
Where did you shoot that, Scott?
In the Philippines.
Philippines, gotcha.
Yeah.
God, if you have advice for young up and coming actors / action stars today, what would that be?
I've already given it. Learn to act. And anything else is a bonus. But yeah, if you haven't got the acting, it's not going to happen.
I'm going to throw a few names at you, and you can make one word to describe them, how you feel about these individuals, or it can be one statement, up to you.
Okay, I hope it's not the C word. Here we go.
Bruce Lee.
Master.
Van Damme.
Hero.
Stallone.
Legend.
Schwarzenegger.
The Boss.
Chuck Norris.
Oh, should have said legend for Chuck. Beard.
Johnny Yen.
Who?
Johnny Yen.
Kung Fu.
Jackie Chan.
Stunts.
Scott Adkins.
Can you bleep it? Please bleep it.
Well,
I had to do it.
Yeah, we'll get you. We'll bleep it out for sure.
I had to do it. I can't help myself. I'm too self-deprecating. What do you expect me to say?
The man.
I'm English.
I didn't expect you to say that.
Let me ask you this, Scott. What is your hat?
Bleep it, but yeah, I've always that's the comic timing you were talking about.
Yeah.
What's your hat mean, Scott? What's that mean on your hat?
Oh, that was a film I did. One More Shot. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I can read it now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
My other hat's so rank. I've had to change back to this old one.
It looks
and
good.
You're not looking at my hair because you don't want to see that.
You got a great head of hair, by the way, for your age.
Yes, you do.
You got a great head
I've
of hair.
got way too much of it. I'm the new Chuck Norris look.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the beard is on point. The beard is on point right now, man.
Keep the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's for the next role.
Good. Well, Scott, listen, I'm being cognizant of your time.
Okay, mate.
An honor and a pleasure. Love talking to you.
Yeah, great
Thanks,
talking
James.
to you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Pleasure
Zach.
meeting you.
We'll see you soon, Scott.
Yeah, sorry about the curse words, but
No,
We'll
I love
believe
it,
brother.
got to be done. Got to be done, hasn't it?
I'm working really hard here to not use them. Trust me.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay,
Scott.
guys. Brilliant. All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one,
See
Scott.
you then.
Thank you.
See you.